prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father God, you know why we are here. You know the hearts of all men and women. Remind us today of the urgency of being prepared to serve our fellow human beings in time of need. Help us as helping agents always to be available to the collective as well as the individual needs of others in times of emergency and when people are in stressful and hurting situations. Give us an understanding of the reasons why we exist and serve. We affirm today, O Lord, that a better community and a better Randolph County and a better America begins with us. Bless now this gathering, and may God bless Randolph County and God bless America. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I call this meeting to order for agenda business. First item is public comment. Sheriff, you got anybody for public comment?
Let's use the bias. I come here today, but before I get started, I want to make it crystal clear before we get started. Except for the law enforcement in this county, I have zero respect for anybody who upholds the law in this county, in this city right here. That includes the magistrate, that includes the upstairs here at the annex building, and that includes the house of ill repute down the road here. So I really wanted to air my grievances with two individuals today. I've been messaging back and forth with them. I grew up in an era where you didn't have messaging, so sometimes the point doesn't get across the right way. One of them individuals was Mark. Well, he's not here today, and I hate to talk about somebody when they ain't here. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about him, but he could listen to the live stream, he could watch it if he wants. I went back and forth with him a few times. I wanna thank him because he's one of the only two elected officials since I've been here in 21 years that's actually listened to you. I had a few issues with him, and he'll know what I'm talking about, as he told me about how I burned bridges. This county here, I wouldn't want to even try to go across the bridge that they built, because you got halfway across, they blow it up. Second thing he talked to me about was, I guess Mark is kind of a religious person. I'm not knocking anybody who's being religious. He talked about the man of Galilee. And I just want to let him know that I went to school, unlike a lot of people in this state and this county, I went to school K through 12, and I went to a Catholic school. Not that I'm bragging or anything. So I know all about the man of Galilee. And the people that he should be preaching to are the people down the road at that house of ill repute that shouldn't even have a job, period, none of them in it. But they're all hypocrites because they like to use the law on you, but when the law is for them, they got a problem with it. Especially, they want to take, I had a judge that wanted to take my due process away. Then she had no ethics, let alone no morals. Then I had a guy across the road, Ben Shepherd, who wanted to take my due process away. So I had to plead guilty to a charge I wasn't even guilty of. And everybody knows pretty much why I'm here, because of the cams. And I came here because an individual came to my house. His name is Brian Talkington. I'm only going to use his name once because it makes me sick at my stomach, even giving him any oxygen. The man came to my house on unsubstantiable evidence. They're making an arrest on me. Pretty pathetic. Well, he come in my house. I don't know who he thinks he was, but he come in my house and he wants to talk down. He wants to threaten and harass my family, first of all. Then he wants to go back in, and he got enough nerve to go back in the house like he's somebody and want to talk down to my wife, number one. Then he wants to talk about me, throw me out in the street. I've been married to my wife 30 years. I ain't never done nothing to my wife. And he wants to go in there and run his big mouth. I don't know, maybe that badge on his chest, maybe that's what he hides behind. But he ain't gonna talk down to my wife. I can just imagine if I say I went in Rob's house and talked to his wife like that, or Dave's, or Chris's, they would bring the law down on me in a matter of minutes. They would have to bury me under Tiger Valley Regional Jail. So nobody's gonna come in my house and talk to my wife that way, or talk to me. I don't care if he wears a badge or not, really don't care. Because me and him are gonna butt heads one of these days. I don't know how it's gonna be, but he's not gonna get away with what he done. I asked Rob to file charges against him. Rob wouldn't do it. I was really disappointed, because I really thought Rob was kinda different. The last clown they had, I ain't got no use for. And another thing I wanted to cover with Mark was, I asked for Freedom of Information Acts. I sent a bunch of them in, I did. But I had no choice, because nobody was giving me information. It took me a year and 2 months just to get the evidence I needed, because I did have a bad lawyer. But nobody would give me that, nobody gave me the evidence. I asked Brady, he wouldn't give me nothing. He wouldn't even do an investigation I asked for. Never called a single witness. I asked these people upstairs for evidence. Nice, I did it the nice way. Didn't want to give me nothing. Just stonewalled me everywhere I chance. 9/11, that place is a mess. I don't even know what's going on out there. I can't get nothing from them people. The ambulance service held me out. I talked to Rob, he did help. I give Rob credit, he did help me. But he let me down in the end. I mean, because I just really thought that officer, he's got a major problem. If that's a lieutenant in your department, you got a real personnel problem.
All right, 5 minutes is up. Anybody else on public comment?
Yes. I don't like getting
All
cut
right.
short, Dave.
You have
'Cause I've
five, you
seen
have
people
5
take more
minutes
than
to
5
speak.
minutes. I don't
5
talk
minutes
over
are
you.
up.
That's fine.
it. 5 minutes are up.
That's fine, but you let people.
5 minutes are up. I
You let
kept the
me-
clock. It's
That's
5
fine.
minutes is up.
Yeah. I am not making nothing worse. He's making it worse.
I'm not making it worse. 5 minutes is up.
Yeah, I'll watch out, everybody else gets 5 minutes, Dave.
Go right ahead. 5 minutes is up.
Yeah, thank you, Ken Keesley.
Do I have minutes from last meeting?
Sure. Okay, I'll move that we approve the minutes from last Randolph County Commission meeting as submitted, and it's held on the 16th of September of 2021.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the minutes from the last meeting, which was held on the 16th of September. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, reports. Sheriff's already left. Brenda, you have anything?
I would like to say something.
Okay.
We do have our new voting machines up now. We've, got one set up in my office over there, if anybody would like to come and do a demo on it. It's a new system that we just got, and we're gonna be starting using them the next election in May of '22. So I do have one set up over there, if anybody'd like to come and try it out and play with it a little bit and see how it works.
I did, and it's really compact, and it's really user-friendly. And I really think the voters are
It's a
going
lot
to.
smaller than the other one.
Yeah, I mean, the screen is basically the same, you still touch the screen to vote, but you're gonna actually have a card that you put in,
Okay.
paper ballot, basically, that you put in the machine, and then when you vote on it, it prints it back out, you can have it in your hand to see actually, see the piece of paper and make sure that it marked what you wanted it to mark. And then you put it into another box, basically, that scans the ballot and puts it into the box
Mhm.
and tallies the votes at the end of the night.
That is a lot different.
Yeah, it's a lot different, but I think it's better.
Oh, good.
All of the surrounding counties are getting these same machines, and this is the machines that the Secretary of State's office wants everybody to get. Our other machines, we've had them since 2006, and they were kinda getting outdated, so we had to move up. And we got a grant for a lot of the money when we purchased them, so that was good too.
We'll find out in May.
All right, Sheriff, did you have anything to report?
No.
All right. Correspondence. All right, announcements. Last meeting, we announced that, Forest Festival Friday was being removed from the county's holiday calendar. It's just for this fiscal year. So we just remind people that tomorrow would have been, is it tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Forest Festival Friday.
Yeah.
The courthouse will be open at normal, where it was like in the years past when the festival was happening, it would have been closed, but, so the courthouse facilities will be open tomorrow.
I got another announcement, for the electronics recycling. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. There's gonna be electronic recycling at the Phil Gaynor Event Center on the Saturday, the 16th, October 16th, from 8 to 12, so if you have any old computers or anything you want
TVs.
rid of. What
TVs.
They'll take
I know,
TVs too.
TVs, all right. All right, so items for discussion and action. First, we have an informational presentation from AES Laurel Mountain. Please.
Hello, my name is Emily Taylor. I'm with AES Laurel Mountain. I've got a couple presentation handouts if you guys would like to have them as well. So.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thank you so much for letting us take the time to give a quick update on the Laurel Mountain Wind Project. You guys have probably all seen this project. It's just outside of Elkins on the border of Barber and Randolph counties. So like I said, my name's Emily. I'm on the wind development team for AES. With me today is Wayne Delacoste. He's the site manager locally here. And then our local council as well, Chris Callis from Jackson Kelly. So if there's any questions that I can't answer myself, they are of course available for questions as well. So just a quick background on the project itself. It's been operating for about 10 years now. AES started developing it in 2005, so we've been here in the community for quite some time now. It is 61 wind turbines up on that ridge line, 1.6 megawatts each for a total capacity of 97.6 megawatts. All privately owned land out there, and so our plan now is to repower the facility. And so what that entails, it's a partial repower, so there will be no changes to the project footprint or any new turbines being constructed. So what you'll see are new turbine blades and some of the associated equipment that's up at the top of the turbine tower. So no change to the project layout, no new turbines, so it's a pretty quick swap of materials. The reason why we're doing this is that it can increase production by 25% roughly. So a lot of people wonder why we're just doing that quick swap, and that's really the driving reason, and it extends the project life as well. So in the presentation that I've got for you, just quick overview of the local contributions that have been received of the project the past 10 years. So we've got 12 permanent O&M technicians that work out here, live locally, many of which are from the surrounding counties. Over $1.5 million in annual contributions through tax revenue, through landowner payments, and salaries of our permanent employees. And we expect all of that to continue for the next 20 to 30 years as part of the repower. So a little bit of what you would expect to see when we're doing this work. We plan to start construction this March. In March would be just general civil site improvements, so some tree clearing, improving the road radius, things of that nature. So not too much that the public would see during that. But then come May, that's when the new components will start to come through town. You'll start seeing blade trucks coming through and that kind of equipment. So that'll take about 3 months for the delivery piece. And then starting in June will be the new installation work. So we'll take off the old rotor, break down the blades, they'll be recycled, and then the new blades will be installed. And so all of that will be taking place between March and November of next year for the project to finally be completed.
And the blades are gonna be 23 feet longer?
Yes, 23 feet longer than what they are now. Yeah.
You see them going down the road as it was.
Good.
Yeah, and this is just honestly some older technology. These 1.6 megawatt machines, the newer turbines that you're seeing built on new projects are much bigger than what will be coming through here still. So like I said, pretty minor changes that you'll be seeing here locally. So when all is said and done, the blades will be up to 23 feet longer, but that's really the only visual impact. So I did include in this deck just a quick simulation of what that new wind turbine will look like from the road. I think that photo is taken just outside of Bellington, maybe a mile or two away from the project. So I think that is pretty much the gist of what we're planning to do here. We will be holding an open house for members of the public to come and learn about this project and ask any questions, just so that everyone's fully aware of what we are planning to do next year. Don't have a real ask for the county at this time, just wanted to be proactive and let you know what we're planning to do. So with that being said, happy to take any questions.
So the power that's generated from here, where does it go?
That's a good question, and one we get frequently. So I think that it's difficult to say where the power exactly goes. You can't really track where electrons are moving once they're inserted into the grid. But I think it's safe to say that because the project's located in PJM, the power will be used as locally as it possibly can. But you know, I can't just make a promise that it's used locally here in Elkins. So
Okay, well, that's a question I get all the time too. Like,
Yeah.
where does it go?
yeah, I hear
It
that
goes to
question.
DC.
Yeah, no, there's not like a direct transmission line to New York City or something like that.
Alright.
Yeah.
How about the battery storage? You have changed it up on the mountain, I know where you have all the batteries, is it?
Yeah, we do have the batteries, and as part of this repower project, the battery is not contemplated in that.
Oh,
I'm not personally working on the battery side, but if you have specific questions about that, Wayne can
Okay.
definitely answer that.
Okay.
Anything?
So in regards to the batteries, we're currently at 16 megawatts on the hill. So current plan is we're basically looking at decommissioning in 2023. However, there is some investigation looking at possible future projects, which we will do the same type of activity here that when that comes to be. But it is being investigated.
I read about batteries, they give us a tour right when they first got the windmill started, they gave the commissioners, took a tour
Oh, yeah.
to the windmill sites.
Yeah, if you would like another tour, we'd be happy to provide that as well, either before the repower or afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem. I've got some just general handouts too, if you would like to leave them for the public anywhere.
Okay.
Sure.
Work- give it work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate your time.
So next on the agenda is an informational presentation and funding request from Tiger Valley Lions Club.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. I'm Jonathan Kyle, current treasurer of the Taggart Valley Lions Club. Today, I came to talk to you about the Ed Heineman playground project that is located up at Camp Pioneer. I don't know how familiar you guys are with that or the club. Briefly, our club is the largest club in our district, and I believe currently possibly the largest Lions Club in the state of West Virginia. We have a very active club here in the valley, and in the last couple of years, we average about $10,000 of high school scholarships to Randolph County students. All of our fundraising is done in-house, with the exception of the funding that we ask for the senior lock-in, which you guys have historically helped us with, and we greatly appreciate. But all of our funding is done in-house through a couple large fundraisers. We don't typically go ask for outside funds to do a project like this, but we have maintained that Ed Heineman Park for 20 plus years since Ed passed away in his memory. This year, we provided funding to repaint the pavilion roof that's there, and also to put new swing seats and chains on the swing sets that are there. The playground equipment, which I'm showing you current photographs of, is getting exceptionally outdated. We purchased that used, or actually maybe it was donated used before my time as a member of the club, and the club members put that there. That equipment is probably 30 years old. It's old wood. You can see there the slides are starting to crack and deteriorate. It's just not a safe piece of playground equipment. And we as an organization do not have the funds to completely purchase a new playground piece of equipment like that. It's gonna cost about $25,000. We as an organization are willing to handle all the logistics, continue to maintain it. We're willing to do the labor to put the new playground equipment in place and dispose of the old playground equipment. But we are requesting that you guys assist us with about $25,000 to purchase the new playground equipment. I provided a photograph of what the new equipment will look like in there, the third photograph. And I've also provided a cost estimate from Kaufman Lawn Furniture in Millersburg, Ohio, which would provide that. That is, the new equipment would be of a plastic material, PVC type material. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not wood.
And
It's
you
not
can't
gonna
use
material.
wood, I'm sure, because this split.
Can't use wood anymore. We've asked for the commercial grade slides, so we don't have any trouble there. And we're gonna put new rubber mulch down around the current equipment that's there, the seesaws and things, and some additional benching there. The benches are starting to deteriorate as well, so It's a great park. Every time I drive by there, I don't know if you guys are there, go by there, but it's used by families, it's used for picnics, there's always kids playing there around that pond. That little park is utilized a ton. So we would love to do this. Future plans there, if funding is available, you guys are probably aware there's still an outhouse type bathroom there. And it is, for lack of a better word, disgusting. I'm not gonna ask you for enough funds to replace that today, cause I don't wanna be greedy, but future down the road, possibly in 2022, we would love to see and assist with getting that bathroom fixed as well and put real bathrooms there, but if we can get the playground done this year, that would be a huge help and a big plus for our community.
Yeah, I remember Ed Heineman, I had insurance with him when I first started driving, that's
Yeah.
a long time ago.
Ed was a very influential member of our organization. We have some great members now, some very active members, and we wanna do everything we can for the community, so if you guys will help us, we'll improve this project as well.
I think we can do that. Okay, I move that, we approve the fund request from the Tigers Valley Lions Club for the playground equipment in the amount of $25,000, which will be taken out of hotel motel tax.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the funding request from Tigers Valley Lounge Club for the amount of $25,000 for the playground equipment, and it will be taken from the hotel motel tax. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Gentlemen, thank you very much, we greatly appreciate it.
It'll help the kids out and like I said, the families, so.
Yep, and we'll get some photographs when the project is completed.
All right, John, thank you.
guys.
Kyle,
Jonathan,
get Brenda a letter with the
is there
address.
something in here?
She'll
Yeah,
need
there
to
is.
send a check to, like a letter
Yeah,
requesting
is there an address?
return address and everything for you.
Sure will, I'll get
Is
all
that on
to you.
there?
It's not, the
No.
only thing that's in there is an invoice from
Yeah, it's just
from
the
Kaufman's and then my letter requesting it, so I'll get you with address and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so where she gets
With
it.
tax ID number and all that stuff.
That
Okay,
would be just
yeah.
so we can make the check and who to send it to.
Perfect, I'll send it to you later today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next item on the agenda is personal matter regarding Randolph County 911, the OEM Center. All right, so first on, we're gonna break this down into 3 parts. After we had an internal investigation.
You wanna do the executive session?
No, we're not doing
Okay.
this. After, an internal investigation by an outside HR firm and advice from our legal personnel lawyer, I'm asking for a motion for the termination of Cindy Hart.
Okay, I move that we approve the termination of Cindy Hart as 911 OEM director.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the termination of Cindy Hart. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. After an internal investigation by an outside firm, HR firm, and advice of our personnel lawyer, I'm asking for the, termination of Jim Ansel.
Okay, I move that we approve the termination of Jim Anson.
Motion on the floor is to approve the termination request of Jim Ansel. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
After an internal investigation by an HR firm and advice from our personnel lawyer, I'm asking that we move Hillary White to a 911 dispatcher.
Okay, I move that we approve the taking of Hillary White to a 911 dispatcher.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve Hillary White to a 911 dispatcher. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is to consider wage proposals for the sheriff's deputies. Sheriff, would you speak on this?
Yeah, we've run into, outside agencies, looking at our guys, our certified guys we've had for years. And so I put a package together for, salaries to try to be competitive with other agencies, so that, he can't take our guys. I mean, it's, once you pay and you get a guy certified, you send him to the academy, we go through all those steps, and then, somebody that can offer more money, you know, it's attractive to take our guys, so I wanna be, I wanna give our guys a raise, so that with the insurance package that you guys provide to county employees, it brings us up to where it's attractive to stay here and to work here. Since we put all the time and effort into these guys, we wanna keep them. So, that's why I gave you guys a proposal and asked that you would consider, bumping their salaries up to, areas closer around us. DNR's 48.7 is what they make, starting out. State police is right, they're just neck and neck on those numbers. I've had, sent a guy to a sniper training the other day, and they were trying to coax him into coming to the state police the other day. So, this would help us, if we can get this, bonus or this, wage proposal, this adjustment, would keep our guys here and working.
Well, I think the amount, if we approve the amounts for the Cost County Commission, what, $59,494 this year?
Yeah, it's.
Well, a lot of the pro money's going to cover
Yeah,
some of it
yeah,
also.
the school board is paying basically the salary of two of our guys. We have to train them, we have to provide them a car, we have to, give them equipment, a gun, and those kind of things. That's something that the school board was gracious enough to take on, because it felt it was important for the school system to have our pro guys out in the school. So, they've taken that on, we've applied for the grant. I understand we're gonna get the grant money, and then, so that's the reason it's 59,000.
I think I told you wrong, I think it's 72,000.
That we would have to,
That would have to-
adjust for this year's budget, so. Yeah, we asked you to, look around the counties, about the same size deputy headcount. And, cause we've had some that has been trying to be recruited away.
Sure.
You've got Upshur County, was it 8,000 sign-on bonus in Upshur County?
They're offering an $8,000 sign-on bonus, very recent. The city of Elkins gives a $7,500 sign-on bonus. Huntington gets a $20,000 sign-on bonus. It's hard to keep your guys here when money is being offered to, they can go slide right into a position and do the same job.
Plus, these guys, these deputies, they put their lives on the line every day for it, and I mean, I'm very happy to approve, this thing, so. Do we have a motion?
I move that we, approve the wage increase, which will be taken from CARES reimbursement for courthouse contractual, and approval of this budget revision for the wages and benefits in the amount of $72,843 is the amount needed to cover the remainder of the fiscal year.
All right, so the motion on the floor is to approve the wage increase, for the sheriff, and as outlined on our document, and anybody can see it, which will be taken from the courthouse contractual line, all right? And then we're gonna do a budget revision in a second to move that, so, okay, the motion on the floor is to approve the wage increase for the sheriff's, deputies. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, so now we'll ask for a budget revision for the wage and benefits in the amount of $72,843, which was the amount needed to cover for the remainder of this fiscal year.
Okay. I move that we approve the budget revision in the Randolph County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $72,843.
Is that a state budget revision?
Yeah.
All right, so state budget revision in the amount of $72,843, for the wage and benefits, to cover the sheriff's, for the remainder of this year, and it will be taken from the courthouse contractual line. Any further discussion? So it's state budget revision, so Commissioner C?
Aye.
Commissioner Keesling, aye, so budget revision is done.
I'd like to thank you guys on behalf of the deputies. They work hard, we work 24-hour.
Yeah, holidays and
24 hours a
everything.
day, holidays, weekends. These guys put a lot of time and effort in to protect the county and the residents, and I wanna thank you.
I think you got a good group of deputies,
I
and
got a
I
good
hope
group
we
of
can just
guys.
keep them.
I just don't wanna lose them.
So next on the agenda is
Sheriff
something
again?
else for the sheriff. Consider purchase of cruisers for the sheriff's department. All right, so we originally had, an agreement with Enterprise to lease 4 vehicles. But the sheriff was contacted that they can't fulfill that, contract, right? Cause they don't have the vehicles.
Ford canceled the order.
So they don't have the vehicles. We can go to a dealer and get the vehicles, correct?
Yes.
and you need 4 vehicles.
Yes, I'm running two over 125,000. I've got one at 118,000, I believe it is, one at 97 or 98,000. And they're run hard from day one. They're wore out.
Well, you can get them from state contract, but you said the dealers around here will honor the state contract amount.
Yeah, I called the state bid, talked to them about the state bid at Stevens and Charleston. I approached Justin Jackson here at Elkins Ford Land and asked him if he would match the bid. He said he would, and he called me back yesterday or day before and says if we order right away, they should produce these vehicles in December, and we would have them probably by February.
Okay.
So that would, and then we've got about a month getting our
Yeah.
equipment in them. So it'll be early spring, hopefully they'll be on the road.
So the state bid for it was like 40,000 vehicle,
The
39?
hybrid vehicle that.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do, was a hybrid.
We've been going for, which doesn't run the gas so much, is 39,000 odd number, and then we equip it with our.
So we anticipate about $10,000 in equipment cost, so roughly 50,000 per vehicle, so $200,000 is what we're gonna put in there.
Okay.
Anything over that, you're liable for.
I'll do my best.
Anything under that, we get back.
I'll do my best.
Alright, so, I'd like to have a motion to approve, $200,000 for the purchase of sheriff's for 4 cruisers.
Okay, I move that we approve the purchase of 4 cruisers for the sheriff's department in the amount of $200,000.
And this will be taken from the courthouse, again, the courthouse contractual line. Okay, so motion on the floor is to approve the purchase of 4 cruisers in the amount of $200,000 to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor? Alright, next item on the agenda is to consider.
We gotta do it, we wanna do the budget revision now, you wanna wait and do it during?
Oh, okay, yeah, I see
For
that.
the-
We'll go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So the budget revision, now I ask a motion to
I
approve the
move
budget
that,
revision.
move that we approve the state budget revision for the sheriff's office in the amount of $200,000, which will be taken from the courthouse contractual.
Okay, state budget revision, to move $200,000 from courthouse contractual to courthouse equipment, for the purchase of 4 cruisers for the sheriff's department. Any further discussion? Commissioner C.
Aye.
Commissioner Keesling, aye. Motion passes.
One question, can I tell Justin to get that?
Yep.
order?
It's official.
It was just
Yeah.
approved.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything else for the sheriff? Let me see.
I got a question.
Uh-huh.
You said moving that from courthouse contractual to courthouse equipment?
That's what he has on there.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
I just want to clarify that it wasn't one into his budget, it's one into courthouse equipment.
I think the cars have always,
Yeah.
been out of courthouse.
Alright. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of the financial statement from Fred Hess CPA. Do you have anything on this?
I think Brenda's.
No, it really doesn't have to be approved, I mean,
Really?
it's just something that's done every year.
Mm-hmm.
We've hired him the last 2 years to do it, he's got it done on time, done a
So
good
you're
job.
you're satisfied with the work done?
And we've already advertised it in the paper as required by code.
So I just say we,
So everything's, and that'll be used by the auditors whenever they
Yes.
get ready to start their audit.
we sent that out, started that process, haven't we? Yeah, alright. So I just say we do it to approve the financial statement as presented.
Okay, yeah, I move that we approve financial statement as presented from Fred Hess, CPA.
Okay, motion on the floor is approved the financial statement as presented from Fred Hess CPA. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next is to consider approval of full-time hires for Randolph County E911 Center. Floor is yours.
Yeah, that's your copy.
I'm requesting that Emily Holster be moved from part-time employment status to full-time employment status with benefits. She has completed her requirements and has done an excellent job during her in-house training. Her pay will need to be adjusted to $13.97 an hour with full county benefits, starting this October 4th, because that was the new pay period.
Okay, so you wanna do that one?
Are they both the same?
They are.
No, we'll go ahead and do Emily. Okay, I move that we approve the hiring of Emily Hostetler, move her from part-time to full-time employee status with full benefits. and she has completed her requirements and done an excellent job during her in-house training. Her pay will need to be adjusted $13.97 per hour with full county benefits, and starting date of October 4th, 2021.
Okay, motion on the floor is approved, for moving Emily Hosseller from part-time to full-time, full county benefits, $13.97 per hour, start date of October the 4th. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, next one.
I'm also requesting that Jared Brady be moved from part-time employment status to full-time employment status with full benefits. He has also completed his requirements and has done an excellent job during in-house training. His pay will also need to be adjusted to $13.97 an hour with full county benefits as of October the 4th.
Okay, I move that we approve the hire of Jared Brady from part-time to full-time employee status. And he's made all his job, done an excellent job in his training. And he will have to be adjusted to $13.97 per hour with full county benefits, and the starting date of October 4th, 2021.
Okay, motion is to approve the moving of Jared Brady from part-time to full-time, full county benefits, pay adjusted at $13.97 per hour, and the starting date, is effective October the 4th. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You need you got a full load of people now? Are you full with employees, or are you still looking for
As of
part-timers?
right now, yes.
Looking for part-timers?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good right now.
Okay, good.
Next item on the agenda is consider approval of the reappointments to the Randolph County Unsafe Building and Lands Enforcement Agency. We have Kathy Vance and Ken Skinner. The reappointment of Kathy Vance and Ken Skinner as a member at large to this, agency. So we have a motion for that.
Yeah, I move that we approve the reappointment of Kathy Vance and Ken Schrader,
Skinner.
Ken Skinner, as members at large on the Randolph County Unsafe Buildings and Lands Enforcement Agency, beginning today and ending August 31st of 2023.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the reappointment of Kathy Vance and then Ken Skinner as a member at large to the Unsafe Buildings and Land Enforcement Agency effective today, and their term will end on August the 31st of 2023. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next item, consider approval of the quote from Casso Technical for the cold water supply line replacement in the Randolph County Jail building, the old sheriff's building.
Oh, this water line goes to the boiler, I believe, is.
Over there, yeah, they said we don't get it
Jail.
replaced now, winter, so.
Okay. Move that we approve the quote
So this is kind of money again for you, right?
it's for the jail. I mean,
Well,
It's the old sheriff's
he's
building.
connected to the jail.
It's the old sheriff's.
Technically, yes.
All right, just making sure.
But we
Okay.
got heat in there. and
You
let's
got
get
that right?
water in.
Ed, you got that?
He's got another one in K.
Yeah, hang
Oh,
on.
my goodness.
So you're looking ahead. All right, motion.
Motion to approve the quote from Casto Technical Services in the amount of $2,784.84, and that's to replace the cold water supply lines to the old county jail.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the quote from Casso Technical Services in the amount of $2,784.84 to replace the cold water supply line in the old sheriff's jail. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, consider a donation to Tigris Valley United Way. Tigris Valley United Way. Okay, we do this every year. They just now changed the name to Tiger Valley United Way. And, so we are looking.
Well, they used to have a couple there in Randolph County, United Ways.
These all been combined, so. Their goal this year is $620,000. And so we make our donation, we make a small donation to it, so.
Okay, I move that we approve the, donation to Tigris Valley United Way in the amount of $1,000, which we take from courthouse contractual.
Motion on the floor to donate $1,000 to the Tiger Valley United Way, taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving right along.
Sheriff.
Oh, yeah. consider a purchase of new radios and mics for the sheriff's deputies.
Good
Sheriff,
catch,
like to speak on
Edgar.
this?
Good catch, Edgar.
These are Motorola's. We currently have Kenwood radios, and I don't know if you guys have heard the chatter or not, but we have issues in the county talking on the Kenwood portable radios to the Motorola base that we have to hit on the towers. I purchased this radio myself personally and a microphone. It's a Motorola. It's what I asked for in the proposal to you guys. I can go and sit in the spot where the Kenwood beeps and has no service and talk on this Motorola radio. It's a safety thing, and I'm just asking that you give us 17 of these things. We're gonna trade in the Kenwoods so we get a better price on the new Motorola's, and they're gonna put an encryption channel on there so that we can talk amongst ourselves if we're working on something where we don't want everybody in the county to know for safety purposes. But this, so far, everywhere I've used this radio, it works. Where the Kenwoods, I can have right beside of me and it won't work. So I'm just asking, we can get all 17 of them to supply all the guys at this time that we have, and I just think it's imperative for security and safety, basically.
It's a wireless mic, so they don't have the wire going from the thing to the.
I went ahead and bought the wireless mic. You don't have a cord hanging around hanging off of you to get wrapped around your neck when you're wrestling with somebody. It's a Bluetooth thing, and it just syncs up. I do it every morning when I turn it on, and it charges at night, and they work real well. And I've got a pretty good price for the whole setup, and by trading in the Kenwoods. So we'll be rid of those, and this should help us.
I know your dad on the fire department, he has trouble with his radios. Are they using the Kenwoods or?
From daily at about Homestead School, when I can have this radio on me, it's portable, and as I top the hill, it starts to beep in my ear on my microphone, and you generally have no service or very sporadic service clear through into Mill Creek. I'm talking to the school board now because of the issues with having the pro officer at Taggart Valley High School. We can't talk to him on a radio currently that he has right now. I did talk on this radio at Mill Creek at the school. I went behind the school the other day. It was a little patchy back there, but I've been talking to Joseph Arbogast at the school board. He's talking like they're gonna try to help us with something with a base station or an antenna or a repeater or something there. He's talked to a radio tech.
Okay.
And he's willing to help us with that so that it helps with the coverage right there. So I'm thinking, with that and these radios, we should be pretty good. Once you get into Mill Creek, you hit the Valley Head or the Wares Ridge Tower. This radio will tell you you're on the Valley Head Wares Ridge Tower when you're on it. And these radios grab those towers and hold them way better than the Kenwoods. So like I'm coming out of Elkins with the Kenwoods, and when it loses service, nothing works until you get to somewhere where it can pick up again. This Motorola will hold the tower that it's on until you get to another. I don't know if it's Motorola specific. I'm being told that it is, and
Well, as long as these work better and you got communication, that's all that
they
matters.
work so far. It works fantastic. So I would appreciate it if you guys would approve it.
All right,
Okay, I'll move that we approve the purchase of new radios and mics for the sheriff's deputies. That'll be 17 of them, and the amount of that being $23,800, which will be taken from courthouse contractual.
all right, so motion on the floor is to approve the purchase of the new radios and mics for the sheriff's department, for sheriff deputies. And that amount is $23,800 to be taken from courthouse contractual. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
I saved one. I bought this one myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Consider dropping the opioid, related claims in litigation. All right, we have been in talks with our lawyer. The county is gonna be still in the suit, or we are looking at just dropping all the claims aside from the public nuisance as directed by our legal counsel. And I'm making a request that we have a motion to that effect.
Okay. I'll move that we You're on your thing here. Right here. Okay, I move that we drop the, motion, I make a motion to drop all claims and opioid litigation except equitable claims related to the public nuisance.
Alright, so motion on the floor is to, to drop all the claims in the opioid litigation except for the equitable claims related to public nuisance. Alright, so any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Next is to consider renewal agreement with Valentine Assisted Living. Alright, we already have this agreement, it's a new owner, so we would just like to reaffirm our commitment to them. And I think,
It mainly says to provide water in case of an emergency or disaster
Yeah.
to the facility, basically what it all says.
okay. So I have a motion, and I think Denise Campbell is the new.
She's the new owner of it,
Yeah.
she just bought it.
Alright, so we're just gonna to reaffirm our partnership, alright?
Okay, I move that we reaffirm the agreement with Valentine Assisted Living to provide water in the event of an emergency or disaster.
Alright, so motion on the floor is to approve the agreement between Randolph County Commission and the Valentine Assisted Living that the commission will provide water to the facility in the event of emergency or disaster. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, next is consider approval quote from GST. This is for a new power supply. It's a very small amount. We still have to approve it.
Yeah, it's
$23.
$23.99.
Yeah, it's just for an updated power supply.
Okay, I move that we approve the quote from GST in the amount of $23.99.
Motion on the floor is to approve the quote from GST, the West Virginia Division, for a new power supply, and it's $23.99. Any further discussion? All in favor? All right.
All the quotes were that little.
Yeah. Yeah. After all the sheriffs, my gosh.
That's dropping the bucket.
Next, consider retaining Bush Jabal Thompson for dog running at large ordinance. All right, so the commission is looking at revising the ordinance, but in order to make it more enforceable, we're going out and asking them to review, revise, and draft ordinances for the commission, to make it more enforceable for law enforcement in the court system. Did you have anything you wanna talk about on that?
We just, over the years, this has been an issue, and it was brought to our attention through Michael Parker's office that this is a civil thing. It's not a criminal matter the way it's written in the code. So we're asking you guys to adopt this dog ordinance so it can be enforced and we can continue to take care of that kind of problem in the county.
We have to have a couple readings if we change the ordinance. I don't know either.
I'm not sure about what you, how.
Right now, we're asking them to review it, revise it,
Okay.
and then provide us with a draft of the ordinance. So
Then I
that-
think you'll have to have a reading.
I think we'll have to have a couple readings. Okay.
So I need a motion to retain Bush, Jabal, and Thompson to review, revise, and draft an ordinance on behalf of the commission for the dog running at large.
Okay, I move that we retain Bush, Ball, and Thompson to review and revise the draft ordinance on behalf of the commission for dogs running at large.
Okay, and the rate of that is $175 per hour for attorney services and $75 for paralegal services and expenses incurred. So is there any further discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, consider approval of the quote from Lynx for the E911 redundancy system. Do you have anything on that?
It's for the internet. Right now, we only have Frontier, which is fiber optic, but we don't have anything to back it up if it would fail. Our weapons machine, which we run things for law enforcement on, will not work without an internet. So it's really important that we do not lose that. They come up on a felony vehicle or someone who has warrants, we can't tell them if we can't bring that up. So
I think
it's just to back
You
it up.
had an issue with that not too long ago.
We
didn't
did a
you, when
couple
the
nights
internet-
ago, yeah. Mark called me and discussed this with me, the very next night it went down. It was just like, you need this.
Coincidence.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
Okay. I move that we approve the one-time change in the amount of $495 for installation, the pole, master, and the router, and that's motion to approve the monthly occurring cost of $100 for internet backup.
Alright, so motion on the floor to approve the, cost proposed from Lynx Wireless Internet Service Provider, and they're out of Buchanan, to approve the one-time charges, the amount of $495, which is for the installation, and then the $100 for the, monthly reoccurring costs for internet backup. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Alright, next item on the agenda is consider funding for the Harmon Bridge replacement. This is something Mark's been working on, with them for quite a while. And it's to complete necessary replacements for 2 bridge access in Harmon, in and around the Harmon community. The request is for $25,000 from the commission for building materials, which is which is also the remaining money needed to complete this project. With this, if we approve this today, the project has a start date of October the 18th. So do we have a motion for that?
Okay, I move that we provide the funding to the Harmon Bridge replacements in the amount of $25,000, which will be taken from the coal severance.
Alright, so we'll be taking this from coal severance, so motion on the floor is to provide the funding to complete the Harmon Bridge replacements in the amount of $25,000, and we'll be taking that from coal severance. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, next, consider reimbursement of lost funding income to the West Virginia DTGC. We're actually going to, ask that we table this, for future meetings, cause, that's a use of the ARP funding, is for, lost revenue. But we're holding off on all those requests, until we look at, the infrastructure projects that we wanna complete in the county. So I ask that we have a motion to table this.
I move that we, table item R on the agenda.
Okay, motion is to table consider a reimbursement for lost funding to the West Virginia DTGC. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, final settlements. There's 13 final settlements.
Okay. I move that we approve the 13 final settlements as submitted.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the 13 final settlements as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Budget revisions.
They're all budget revisions? A lot. Let's see, the big one.
The first one is, where we're.
State budget revision.
Yeah, we're going to move the remaining, okay, the CARES money that we got the very first go round is all now in, we're moving, it was in the courthouse contractual line,
And contingencies.
in contingencies. We want to move that to the courthouse contractual line, cause that's actually where they write all the checks out of, alright? So all this stuff that we bought you today, from the courthouse contractual line, there's no money in it until we move this money, alright? So we gotta move this money. Alright, so we're moving this money, and it's to increase, that line by $1,716,742. Is that right?
It's the next budget revision. That's the original one
That's the original one we did?
for rollover.
Alright, yeah, we had that much. So it's $982,267. $982,267 from the contingency line to the courthouse contractual line. And this was the money that we got originally from the CARES Act. Alright,
Okay. I move that we approve the state budget revision in the amount of $982,267.
alright, so state budget revision for the movement of $982,267 from contingencies to courthouse contractual, state budget revision. Commissioner C?
Aye.
Commissioner Keithley? Aye. Next.
This is in-house budget revision, let me get my glasses. This is moving. And assessor's office is moving stuff from the Val fund, Val medical fund, Val insurance. Is this a different one? Same one.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
this is a
so,
different one here.
yeah, she's just moving money from her Medicare and her, RHBT to her insurance line. She's decreasing that and decreasing her insurance line and moving it over to her Medicare and other ones. So this is an in-house budget revision, motion to approve the $9,950.
Yeah, I move that we approve the in-house budget revision in the assessor's office in the amount of $9,950.
Alright, so motion on the floor is to approve the $9,950 budget revision from the insurance line to her Medicare and her RHBT line. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. And this is a community corrections budget revision, it's an in-house budget revision. Looks like she's moving money around from wages, Medicare, insurance.
From her community correction line to her.
North Central
Yeah.
Community Corrections, it's community correction.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll move to approve the in-house budget revision in North Central Community Corrections in the amount of $7,369.24.
Alright, motion on the floor is to approve the in-house budget revision for community corrections in the amount of $7,369.24. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Sheriff, you got a bunch of them here.
This one here's only $185. Increase, decrease,
$185.
training, travel line.
Okay. I'll move to approve the in-house budget from the Randall County Sheriff's Office in the amount of $185.20.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff, from his decreasing training to increasing his travel of $185.20. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. There's more moving from the law enforcement to the, I guess, to the pro.
From
From pro to law enforcement. It's another no, this is state budget revision, the sheriff's office, and so I move we approve the state budget revision in the sheriff's office in the amount of $67,435.
Alright, so motion on the floor to approve the state budget for the sheriff's department in the amount of $67,435. Commissioner C?
Aye.
Commissioner Keesling? Aye.
What we got here? Sheriff, again. This is in-house budget revision. This one is, previous amount was $5,000 increasing $4,300. Equipment, yeah.
Alright, so motion on the floor is to approve the in-house budget revision for this equipment miscellaneous income line to his account equipment line, $4,300. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. And this is another in-house budget revision from the sheriff's office. This is TF contractual service, increasing it $3,347.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the in-house budget revision.
Take it from forfeiture.
Yeah,
Forfeited.
forfeited funds to the contract services, $3,347. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Is that it?
That's it for budget revision.
Budget revisions, Division of Property Awareness Assessments.
26 erroneous and 1 division.
Make a motion to approve the 26 erroneous assessments.
Okay, I move that we approve the 26 erroneous assessments as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the 26 erroneous assessments as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye. And I move that we approve the division of property as submitted, just one of those.
So just one? Okay, motion on the floor is to approve the one division of properties as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, distressed properties,
No.
fire fee adjustments.
We have 5.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the five fire fee adjustments as submitted.
Motion on the floor is to approve the fire fee adjustments as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Pay the bills.